Welcome back to Charmin's Kitchen. How is my favorite people doing? If you're visiting for the first time, I want to welcome each and every one of you. And tonight I'm going to be sharing a recipe for Barfi. I've been sweet on my channel for a very long time, and this is very, very simple. Anybody can make it. Even my daughters can do this. How simple it is. So I want to share that recipe with you guys. And if you come on down, we will do this together. So guys, for my Barfi, these are the ingredients that I'm using. I have here 2.5 cups of powdered milk, and it took me a very, very long search before I could have found powdered milk. In this cup here, I have half a cup of liquid milk. I have 3 cardamom. You usually put powdered or ground cardamom in this Barfi, but today I don't have powdered cardamom, so I'm using a whole one, and I just split them a little, like I pound it so the flavor can come out. I have some crushed pistachios. I have here ghee that I'm using. You can also use butter for this, but today I'm going to be using ghee. Ghee and butter is very, very similar, the way they're made and the texture and everything like that, but ghee have less lactose than butter, and it is used in many different kind of cooking and dishes. So I'm gonna use half a cup. I have my cup measure here, and half a cup of white sugar. You don't really use brown sugar in this recipe because your Barfi will come out with a different color, not the nice white color that you're looking for. And here I put a piece of parchment paper in my dish that I'm gonna pour it out in, and I'm gonna get started now. So on the stove, pour it out here in this measure, and look how rich and thick and nice.
Mango juice.
Yeah, and yellow it is. It looks, yeah, you're right, like mango juice or mango sour. And I'm gonna put the half a cup of ghee in here. I'm gonna light my stove, and I'm gonna start adding the rest of the ingredient. And let me just get the rest of the stuff. And in the pan here, I'm gonna add, let me just stir it a little. Anything like ghee and butter, when it's sitting, they tends to get thick. I'm gonna add my milk now, and this is the liquid milk mixture. Look at that. They form a pattern, Jess. So I'm gonna, this doesn't mix in, but I just want to add these two before I add the rest of the ingredient. At this point, I want to add my cardamom. So just 3 cardamom. If you have cardamom powder, that will be the better thing for this Barfi, because it will get to mix in well into the recipe. And now I'm gonna start adding a little bit of, and this you have to cook on medium until all this is nice and warm, and then once it's warmed up, you have to put it on like very low heat. So I have it on medium to low right now, and you have to be very careful when you're making it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of my milk powder, about half of the amount, and I'm gonna turn this up. And what I want to do while I'm doing that, I'm gonna add some of the sugar, so about half of the sugar. So I'm blending as I go along. So a little bit of sugar and a little bit of milk. And if you notice any lump, you want to just make sure that you mash it in and make sure that it's gone, that it's dissolved. I really like the color of this ghee in here. And then the next thing now I'm gonna add is the rest of the milk powder. And right in here, along with the milk powder, I'll add the rest of the sugar. So I'm gonna leave the ingredients down in the description box below, and I'm gonna just mix, mix, mix. You can also fish out the cardamom at a certain point, but you can leave it in as well. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna see how mine look. If I can fish it out, I will, and if I can't, then I'll leave it in the Barfi. So remember, very, very low heat. If you only raise your heat up high, you're gonna be in trouble, because then it's gonna start burning. So low heat. This is almost done. I'm just gonna let it go a little bit more, And this takes less than 10 minutes. Like, it's so quick to make. You don't even have to be here for a long time. So it's getting stiff now. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour it into my dish. See how it is? It is getting stiff. I think I want it a little bit stiffer. So I'm gonna work it around circularly like this, because the heat is not gonna be on one spot. And then I will pour it into my parchment dish that I already put here. So Matthew, let's see here. It's looking like the real thing right now. So this is it. Now I'm gonna show you how I know when it's done. If you lift it up and it falls like that, like not like that big clump there, you know that it's done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour it out now. I turn my stove off, and then I'm gonna put it into this dish and let it sit for an hour or two until it's hardened up a little. So Matt, you're gonna have to put your camera over here. So I'm just putting it here in a lined dish with some parchment paper, because it's gonna be easy for me to take it out when I'm ready. And I'm just gonna pour everything. In the pan, I'm gonna sprinkle my pistachios on the top. You can put walnuts too if you like. And I'm gonna let it sit. And that's how quick and easy it is to make this barfi. And your whole family would love it. So I'm gonna let it sit, and we'll come back to it when it's nice and set and when it's ready for me to cut. So here is our barfi. I think it's ready. It's hardened up. Yep. And I'm gonna take it out. This is the reason why I put it in a parchment paper, because it's so easy to take out when you're done. No mess at all. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it up, and I just want you guys to see how beautiful and nice this is. I actually I was gonna leave it for an hour, but I had some things to do and I didn't realize the time went by on me so quickly. Let me see how long it was sitting. Yeah, I probably leave it about 2.5 hours. It doesn't matter how long you leave it, but the least time you need is about an hour. And look, it's cutting like cheese. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So beautiful. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep it here, and then I'm gonna make my little scores, and I'll display it on my Charmin's kitchen board. Natalie, are you excited to have a piece?
Yeah, it looks so delicious.
And I can't wait to dig in myself. I'm so happy the way it turned out. Look.
The inside look beautiful.
It is very, very simple to make. The hardest part for me was finding the powdered milk. That was my hardest thing. I went to like 6 different stores before I found it. And it was, that was the hardest part of making this. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut them back in small pieces, because when I'm serving it to my kids, I don't wanna give them huge pieces. So I'm gonna do about this big in pieces. And this is really cutting nice like cheese, guys. So nice, look. Wow. I'm cutting a piece for all my viewers and all my subscribers. I'm just gonna clean off this knife because I don't want it to get, to make the cuts, like ruin the cuts. So I'm gonna just clean off here. Guys, here it is. I just wanna show how beautiful this is. Look at that. So nice and thick, original barfi here. I'm gonna display it on my Charmin's Kitchen board, and this is nice when you have a gathering. And for all my vegetarian friends, when you're celebrating or you're inviting friends and family over, this is an amazing treat for your guests. And it's also amazing for our non-vegetarian friends as well, because you can treat any kind of guest except for our dairy friends who cannot have dairy. But look how beautiful they are. And kids love these. When you get one of these, it's very, very satisfying. You took a picture of it?
Yeah.
So maybe I put this. Do the test now. Before I do that, I'm gonna give Natalie one. Here, Nat.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna take a small one for now because it's late. So to all my viewers and all my subscribers, you guys are really sweet to me. So I made a sweet dish tonight, and I hope you can give this a try because it's so simple. It took me like 10 minutes on the stove, and that was it. I leave it to set, and I even forget about it, but when I came back, it was so nicely done. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? I hope you do so soon. Until then, let me taste for all my sweet people. Look at that. So good, so nice, so creamy, so rich in flavor, and all that milk flavor just came right out. And with the pistachios on the top, it's such a nice, delightful treat. So until then, I want to say you guys stay safe and blessed. Bye for now.